the chat, and I'm going to tell you which emoji, so it's not random. Whoever puts it in first gets it. So let's do the 100 emoji. Go. Ooh, I'm looking for it.
Wow, so many. How do I pick the first one?
Just pick one. I don't see. Let's go for Poppy.
Okay,
There's
Papi,
crypto,
DM me.
cryptoglow.eth. How many are you giving away?
Let's do 3, 5, 6. Like, I mean,
Demi Papa. Who's this? Dan Moss. There you go.
okay, guys, please, all of these people DM me right now, and I'm going to. He's the guy who created the Welly token in this audience, guys. Like, who are you? Come, bro. Let me know who you are. You did something. How is it going? Like, you did something. I thought they were joking, bro, because I started seeing the comments and the links and people tagging me, but I was not paying attention because I was paying attention to you. And I thought they were trolling me, but then it's real. So if you're here, just like request the mic, bro, and I want to hear what you're saying. But anyways, everything is great. I really appreciate everything you said, your time for being here. I can't express really. Please
Coco,
go.
just before you close up everything, can I just go through one time and really give the plan for each token? So I've talked a little bit about the Shy CTO, but I want to make sure that I explain the meme utility for all of the projects in the ecosystem and why they're all important. I also want to reiterate that alpha that I gave earlier, just so everyone doesn't miss it. So in my head, at least, SHIB is the brand. It is the community token. If you take a look at the SHIB paper, it focuses on the similarities to the United States government, which has multiple branches. And in that case, this is the legislative branch where the community decides what to do. When you look at Bone is very important. And I don't even have to look at the comments to know that the Bone army is here saying when. So let me just say a few things about Bone. I think Bone is extremely underappreciated. As Shibarium grows, the token must be used for gas. So it is our goal to keep giving more utility to Shibarium. And there's a blog post about this, that Shibarium will be used as the settlement layer for the alpha layer, as it's codenamed right now, which will be announced shortly. We believe that as the project scales and there are more L3s, more than just the FHE L3, this gives Shibarium much more use, which Shibarium can obviously handle, and therefore gives more use to Bone. It's also the DA layer, and don't ask me to talk too much about that. It's extremely technical, but giving the data availability to all of the L3s on the alpha layer and giving data availability to all the Shibarium projects is a powerful thing. We'll be discussing in the future exactly how this entire system works as it pertains to more listings. Again, what I believe the issues is that the exchanges don't exactly know the value that they get. It's not about how powerful the army is, but you have to look at it from an exchange's point of view, right? From an exchange's point of view, they already have all our users on their platform, right? The whole army's there, obviously, because we're doing billions in volume a day. So what is the advantage for them listing our token? None, zero. So we have to provide more utility and more volume to Bone, and then the listings will happen automatically. That's my opinion. Anyone is free, obviously, to ping the exchanges and get their own opinion what the exchanges think. But based on my conversations, this is key. The key is global adoption, and you'll see as we gain more global adoption, possibly things will change. As it pertains to Leash, Leash is interesting. So Bone, once again, executive uh, uh, branch, if you want to think about this in a government standpoint, executes transactions. Leash then becomes the judicial branch. The judicial branch is very important because ultimately what it does is it allows there to be a group of individuals that can help to police this system, because you need some sort of policing system to manage disputes between individuals inside the system. So if something went wrong in the metaverse or there was some issue, the leash DAO would be able to decide the best plan of action. And that makes it extremely important. Also holds exclusivity, which is something I want to make sure we continue to move forward as SHIB moves forward. And there's one more utility that we currently have planned that we're going to try to complete that I won't mention just yet. But again, bringing more utility, therefore more volume, is going to be very important. And then Treat is, simply put, very important as well. Treat stands for Transactional Rewards for Engagement and Access Token. So it has two different uses. For the transactional rewards, these rewards come through interacting with various projects, and there'll be opportunities to earn Treat by doing things in the future. And at the same time, it is an access token to the FHE layer of FHE Shibarium and all the FHE protocols. And at the same time, it helps unlock a lot of the different pieces of technology in the operating system. So from a global adoption standpoint, you can see how each token interacts. Now, there are other things that also are important and I hope to see take place for the NFTs, for the Shiboshis and the ShibOshis. Obviously, one of the plans has always been mating between the two, and part of the reason why we have twice as many ShibOshis as ShibOshis. So that's something that I mentioned before, and we are hoping to complete as well in this opaque roadmap. And the as it pertains to governance, I would like to see the projects govern different parts of the community. So maybe the Shiboshis and or the ShibOshis could manage the metaverse and its development, or maybe the gaming. I'll leave that up to the community to decide. Again, community decision is going to be very important as all these things are rolled out. But this is how we give utility to all of the different projects that are out there. There's one last thing I want to mention, or a few different things. I'm going to say this one more time because it's important. What I said earlier was, hypothetically, if SHIB was to have an agreement, some sort of MOU with a government, which would be, in my understanding, one of the first, especially for a meme, would that change your perception of what SHIB is? And more importantly than if it would change your perception, would it change the perception of everyone else? And how could that be used to our advantage? You have a little bit of time to think about that answer. It's a riddle, and it'll be solved shortly. Now, the last thing I want to mention is, so obviously in this new role, my job is to find and give vision to a variety of projects. I want to give a shout out to Welly because I learned a lot from the Welly project. We've grown together, we've learned, made mistakes, and I was approached not too long ago by a underrepresented group. They are the Farmers for Coffee. Don't know if you know much about coffee, but coffee farmers basically sell coffee beans or coffee cherries at around $1 a kilo. It's managed by the middlemen and then sold at a huge markup of somewhere between 15 and 40, depending on what the product is, be it coffee or cascada. And none of that flows back to the farmers. So I was approached and said, how does Web3 solve this problem? Usually when we find a new partner, this is what happens. How do you solve? And it's usually one of three things: increased engagement, increased revenue, or reduction in fraud. And developed a strategy, and I'll be talking about this in the future. This is not the place to do so for them, that I'm really excited about. And for the Latino community or the Spanish-speaking community, I think they'll be really excited about this project. I am personally very excited about it because it's not something designed to go to the moon, even though it could, obviously. It's something designed to actually help people long term and onboard 20 million farmers, which is obviously extremely important. Más importante. So the ability to take the operating system and important, right? So any project like this, obviously, as I said, everything that I touch has to somehow use SHIB. You can imagine how different pieces of the operating system could work. In this particular case, Shibarium then verifies the food chain, or in this particular case, the coffee chain. The attestation service allows us to know who the farmers are. FHE allows for the data of the farmers to be fully encrypted so that people can't see who the farmers are, but still be able to see where their coffee came from. Which means that the project would have to buy bone for Shibarium and treat for FHE. And I would obviously encourage them to buy the other tokens as well, or to work it into their tokenomics and economics. And that's what I'll be doing moving forward. I wanted to make this clear. This isn't about one project or one token. Obviously, I'm starting to feel like Elon, who's running like 4 different projects at any given time. But my insight and vision can be used to gain more utility for the ecosystem overall. And if I can do that, why wouldn't I? And I'm really proud to do it and to be part of the world's greatest community. And I don't think anyone will be able to deny that shortly. And one of the most powerful technological advancements, period. And surprisingly, right? Because everyone thinks SHIB is just a meme. So I wanted to say all that. I'm really excited to see where this all goes, where SHIB, Leash, Bone, Treat, and every other project on Shibarium goes. Sorry, I can't interact all the time with all of you. It's extremely difficult to manage tens of thousands of pings every day. It's extremely overwhelming as well. You talk about being a human. There are moments, it always drives Kyle crazy, where I just shut down for like 3 days. I'm like, bro, I can't. And then like, there's just 2 or 3 days of me just like trying to figure out like what to do next. And then I come back and go, okay, let's go. Here's what we're going to do. Da, 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 da. So I apologize if it's impossible for me to recognize everyone. I know everyone thinks that like, if I co-sign, I can pump their bags, but really you have now all the tools to show to your community that you're building something really powerful. And this goes for the Shy CTO as well. There's only so much I'm going to be able to do, but I believe that if you follow a very intelligent design, this could be really massive. And that goes for all the projects on Shibarium and all the projects that will launch on Shibarium. We're giving you all the tools. So let's see how this all plays out. As it pertains to this, are we in the bull market? I want to answer that question too. What do I feel about the bull market and everything else? I don't know. I remember, I'm old enough to remember when Bitcoin was 14,000. Seems like ages ago, but it wasn't. So it's kind of funny that we usually have tunnel vision of number go up at all times. But I remember very wise people saying to me, number don't always go up. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It allows newbies to get in at a good price. But overall, we all know that there's still only about 7% of the world that's in crypto. 7%. So if that number was to double and it was at 14%, hypothetically, everything worthwhile should do very well. So the key here is not winning today. The key is staying relevant and powerful so that when these new individuals are onboarded, they look to us. That's it. That's the key. And that is where we are positioned, luckily, with the grace of God. And that's where we will stay so that everyone knows that SHIB is a true meme powerhouse, a true technological wonder, and every project associated with it on Shibarium, acknowledged or not, has the capability to grow. Thanks for having me again, Coco. I really appreciate it. I love these spaces, to be honest with you. For way too long, I was bottled up and I was shy. But it feels good to be able to talk about everything that we're working on. And I think all of you, I hope all of you can hear the passion in my voice and how much I love what we are doing. And I want you to know that I speak the exact same way to the princes and princesses and government officials and everyone else that I speak to. And they also feel what we are doing and understand what we are doing. And that's so important. So again, thank you. Coco, any last words
Thank
or
you.
any last
Thank you.
questions?
No, I think that's it. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for making this really great. I think that everyone here appreciated every single second of this space, hangout, talk, lesson. In some points, it was even a lesson. And great. Thank you. Whenever, literally, whenever you will want, it will be just an honor for me to share stage with you. Thank you to you. Thank you, Welly community. Thank you, everyone in the audience for joining. Really love you all. See you soon. Bye.